Dear students, we are going to discuss our next unit, which is electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is that branch of science which deals with the electrical energy and chemical energy. Basically, we have interconversions takes place between electrical energy and chemical energy. If electrical energy gets converted into chemical energy, then that cell is known as electrolytic cell, and the cell in which chemical energy gets converted into electrical energy, that cell is known as electrochemical cell or Daniell cell or galvanic cell. Now, before going into details of this electrolytic cell, we will briefly discuss the topics which we are going to cover majorly in this chapter. First is the electrolytic cell, then electrochemical cell, and the last we will discuss about conductivity of the solution. Now we are going to discuss the electrolytic cell, but before that we have some basic knowledge about what is oxidation and reduction. Oxidation, we all know, it is the process where oxygen addition takes place or removal of hydrogen takes place. In terms of electrons, we define oxidation is the process where removal of electrons takes place, and reduction is the process where removal of oxygen takes place or addition of hydrogen occurs. In terms of electrons, we define the reduction is the process in which addition of electrons takes place. Now we are going to discuss electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell, as we have already know, it is the cell in which electrical energy gets converted to the chemical energy. Now here non-spontaneous redox reaction takes place. Non-spontaneous redox reaction, non-spontaneous means the process which is taken place through external force. It cannot take place automatic means here we are providing electrical energy from the outside, so it is not occurring itself, but we are providing the energy in the form of electricity. That's why the cell is working. Therefore the term non-spontaneous is used. And redox reaction, we all know where oxidation and reduction takes place, and non-spontaneous redox reaction is there, so we can say that delta G value here will be positive. Means greater than 0. We know that delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S, where delta H is the total energy and T delta S is the randomness or freedom which is available to the system, which we are subtracting, and we are getting the energy which is useful in nature, and that energy is known as the delta G, that is gives free energy. Now we are discussing the working of this electrolytic cell. Here we have the beaker in which we have the electrolytic solution. Electrolytic solution, we have the solution in which the ions are present. That means there are ionic or electrovalent bond is present between the electrolytic ions. Here next we have taken 2 platinum electrodes. Why we are taking the platinum electrodes? Because they are inert in nature. Here then we are providing electricity, and electricity is provided through the battery. Here the positive terminal is connected to this side and negative terminal of battery is connected to this side. Now the positive terminal here is called as anode and negative terminal we call as cathode. In case of electrochemical cell, we will see these terminal signs gets interchanged. That means anode becomes negative and cathode becomes positive. But basic idea is that at cathode always reduction takes place, and at anode always oxidation takes place. This we will have to remember. This fact will not change whether it is an electrochemical cell or it is electrolytic cell. Now since it is the negative terminal, so it will push electrons towards this electrode. So this electrode will become negatively charged, and here since it is the positively charged, so it will push the electrons back from this platinum electrode, so this electrode will become positively charged. In the electrolytic solution, C and A means we are taking the electrolyte having the cations C plus and anion A negative. Since this electrode of platinum is negatively charged, so cation will move towards it, and anode, since it is negatively charged anion, it will move towards positively charged electrode. Now here we have the electrolyte Ca. It will get dissociated to form C plus and A negative ion. At anode, which is positively charged, what is happening? This A negative, since it is positively charged, it is moving, and on moving down, what will happen? It will lose the electrons. So it is known as the oxidation. We know that loss of electron is the oxidation process. And why we have called it as half? Since it is taking place only at one platinum electrode, and also we have to remember that this half, wherever it is written, it means we have electrons involved in the reaction, but in full chemical reaction these electrons never appear. At the cathode, what will happen? We all know reduction will take place. This cation, it will move towards negatively charged platinum electrode, and it will gain electrons since it is negatively charged from this electrode, and becomes C, cation. Overall reaction, we can say that Ca, it will form C and A, and this is the net reaction in which electrons are not appearing. Basically what is happening, when we add these two reactions, these electrons get cancelled out and we will get this net reaction. Now there are two aspects of electrolytic cell. One is qualitative and other is quantitative. We will know quantitative aspect is the aspect in which we will determine how much amount of the substance will be deposited at the electrodes. If gas is involved, how much volume of that will be evolved. We will study in this quantitative aspect of the electrolytic cell, and in qualitative aspect we will discuss which will substance will oxidize and which will reduce. Like electrolyte, we have taken different substances are present which will oxidize and which will go to reduce. We will discuss in these topics in qualitative aspects of electrolytic cell. Now there are some factors which will decide the qualitative aspect, like electrolyte. हमने जो है इलेक्ट्रोलाइट जो है जो फिल किया है बेसिकली सेल के अंदर, वो डिटरमाइन करेगा कि क्वालिटेटिव एस्पेक्ट क्या है. सेकंड जो मीडियम जनरली हम क्या लेते हैं, लिक्विड लाइक एक्वस वाटर. सेकंड मोल्टन, कि हमने कोई मीडियम ही नहीं लिया, जैसे कि हमने NaCl इलेक्ट्रोलाइट है वो मोल्टन स्टेट में ले लिया, मतलब हमने जो है वो NaCl को इतने ज्यादा हाई टेम्परेचर के ऊपर बॉईल किया कि वो इटसेल्फ एक्टिंग एज ए मीडियम, तो वो भी अफेक्ट करेगा इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस को. थर्ड इज द इलेक्ट्रोड. Here in the previous example we have taken platinum electrode, but if we take the electrode like copper, zinc, etc., any other electrode, then it will also affect the electrolysis process. Now we will discuss how to represent the electrolytic cell in shortened form. First we will draw two lines. In between the lines we have written the electrolytic medium which we will take in the electrolytic cell. Also we have to mention its concentration and the temperature. On the left hand side we will represent anode at which oxidation takes place, and then after comma we will represent the product which we are getting at the anode. On the right hand side we will represent the cathode product, comma cathode of the electrode. Now we will discuss the two cases. Like first, molten NaCl means the NaCl we have heated it to a very high temperature, so it will dissociate to produce sodium plus and chloride ion. At the anode, we will know in electrolytic cell it is positively charged, and at anode oxidation process takes place. Since it is positively charged, so chloride ion which is negatively charged, it will move here, and at anode oxidation will take place, means it will lose the electrons. Now many of us have doubt why we have written half here. The simple logic is that to balance the equation we have written half, or we can else multiply it with 2. At the cathode, what is there? We have negatively charged terminal, so cation it will move towards cathode, and at cathode always reduction process takes place, so it will gain the electron and form the sodium. Now here the case is simple, because we have the molten NaCl. We are getting at cathode sodium, at an anode chlorine simply. But now what will happen if we take the aqueous NaCl? In aqueous NaCl we will have also water in addition to sodium plus and chloride ion. Water, it will also have tendency to undergo oxidation as well as to undergo reduction. So what product we will obtain at anode and what we will obtain at cathode, it will be decided with the help of the electrochemical series, which we will discuss in our next chapter. Thank you.